Hey everybody. So I haven't done a video in a while because all the craziness that's been going on. Uh, so I'm finally just getting around to doing my impressions on shooting my P38. Um, Now I have a functioning gun, $150 extra later. Overall, it shot reasonably well. It actually did not shoot as good as I thought it would. It's actually one of those kind of guns that, because it's a historical gun, and as you can see, it's clear. Um, it shot okay. I mean, I definitely would have thought it would have shot better. It could just be the age of the gun. It was fairly accurate. I mean, it's got old school sights on it. Um, I'm definitely glad I bought it. As you can probably tell, the grips look a little different. Give you a close up there. I bought these grips. Um, they're reproduction grips. I only paid like 17 bucks for them, and I think a few bucks for shipping from Europe. And they're pretty darn good repro of what would have come on this because this is a Spree Works. And mid late war, Spree Works was, as far as I know, coming with the brown grips. I still have my other black lip grips. They just didn't look good because they were. It's almost like somebody took nail polish to seal them. It was all flaking off, so it looked kind of shitty. Um, so I got this part fixed, the takedown lever. They had staked it in place. There was an issue with the trigger where it was not firing the double action. It's got quite a heavy double action trigger in it. Um, my guess is probably like 14, 15 pounds. It's pretty excessive. Now, the single action trigger, on the other hand, maybe 5 pounds. The single action trigger on it is much better than the double action. The double action is really stiff. I don't know if that's because he had to do some trigger work to it and replace a few parts in the trigger mechanism, or if that's just how they normally are. Um, Either way, the double action trigger works now. Still, only have the one mag for it, which is not a big deal. There's plenty of the mags out there for it. Um, so that's pretty much all I've got on this. So I've got a fully functioning P38 for under 500 bucks. Can I go wrong? No, because even nowadays, you want a Walther P38, you're gonna be looking at 700 and up for one that doesn't look as good. Granted, I know this has been refinished, but is what it is on that. It's still got visible waffle stamps on it, so I wanted it for the historical value. So I'm not disappointed that it doesn't shoot as good as I thought it would. Um, had a couple little hiccups when I was shooting it. It may just not have liked the ammo I was shooting. May not have been a hot enough load of ammo because I know these were the German 9mm was supposed to have been like basically 9mm, what became 9mm NATO spec ammo. So I was only shooting 115s out of it. Maybe it didn't like the ammo. Um, Overall, not a bad gun. Am I disappointed I bought it? Fuck no. I always wanted these. This is one of my grail guns. As much as it's not as nice as I would have thought as a shooter, it could just be this one. Who knows? Now, on the other hand, let me put this out of the way. So there's that. Now, I did buy another gun that some of you might know I have, some of you might not know I have. So I picked up a Ruger. I'm betting you're wondering what's in the box. Yes, I went there. Deal with it. So I bought this. This is a Ruger single six, single action. Um, I don't actually, up until this point, didn't actually have a 22 pistol. I've got a 10-22. I didn't have a pistol. Now I do. Love that sound. I found this on Gunbroker. Picked it up for under 450 bucks, which is a steal for this gun because this is different than the normal ones. You notice it doesn't have a rear sight here. And if I roll it over, so you can actually read it, it's an anniversary edition model. So it's unique because it doesn't have that rear sight. It has the gold inlay on the top of the barrel. It has the rosewood grips. Now, the only problem with this is I haven't decided what I'm going to do with it yet. Whether I'm going to pick up a Hogue grip for it so I can get a full grip on it because, yeah, I got a decent sized hand and it's not fitting on the grip unless I really scrunch my hand on there. And then it's like it moves my hand where my trigger finger is like way out of place. I know Packmeyer makes grips for him. I know Hogue makes the rubber grips, but I've been told you have to duct tape, or not duct tape, electrical tape your strap here on the inside and the outside because the way it attaches, it will damage the bluing on the frame. Don't want to do that, obviously, because this thing's in real nice shape. Now, if anybody knows where to get grips, that I'll point out the problem I don't like with it. See how they're pretty narrow at the top, but they flare out at the base? I want ones that just go straight down, same thickness for the entire thickness of the grip. Some people have called them gunfighter grips. I don't know much honestly about single action revolvers. It's got a really nice trigger in it though. It's probably 2.5 pounds. And yes, you can actually dry fire the single sixes. It says so in the manual because I actually read the manual. It did come with the 22 Magnum cylinder also. So I like that. It hasn't been shot a whole bunch. It's been shot, but not a whole bunch. It looks like they shot the 22 Magnum actually more than the 22 long rifle cylinder, which is what I've got in it now. It's real easy to change the damn cylinders on these things. It's amazing how easy it is. Solidly built. It's a Ruger. Ruger knows how to make revolvers very, very good. I'd been looking at the Wranglers, and I may still pick up a Wrangler, but it felt kind of cheesy in the hand, kind of like a Heritage Rough Rider, how they feel cheesy in the hand. This actually feels like solid. And I just love that sound. I haven't actually got to shoot this yet because fucking coronavirus. But sooner or later, I'm going to be able to get to the range. And this actually does have the transfer bar, so it is drop safe. Not saying you would want to drop, not saying you would want to do that, but it is at least drop safe. Now the gutter sights on it aren't terrible. I may stick a little bit of fluorescent paint up here on the blade just to make it a little bit easier to see the blade. But I just wanted, something fun to shoot, and this will definitely be fun because out of this size barrel, 22 Magnum probably is loud as hell, and I love pissing people off at the indoor range. So I've been thinking about what gun I'm going to buy with my Trump bucks when I get those, or or I'm just going to probably save it. Got this actually out of Pennsylvania. I can't complain about the price. It was a good price because, a stainless model, a brand new stainless model, you're talking over $700. So an anniversary edition model for under $450, I can live with that. I wish the grip was a little bit bigger because this pinky is kind of messed up. I don't know how well you'll be able to see it, but pinky's not exactly straight. It's been broken a few times. So every once in a while, I'll go to make a fist or something like that, and it'll go and just stop. Not good, but is what it is. Been like that since I was a teenager. Um, yeah, I really like this thing. Like I said, I haven't got to shoot it yet, but definitely, definitely looking forward to getting to shoot it. I wouldn't expect it to have any recoil, even with 22 Magnum, just because it's got some weight to it. And yes, I have been practicing. Haven't gotten good at it, but I have been practicing. If I got one of like the Uberti Cattleman, like a 357 version, that I might be interested in. But so that's my newest gun. It comes in a nice box. Came with all the paperwork. The original sales receipt is in there. Original warranty card. It's not often that you get like literally the original sales receipt. And these have gone up in price significantly from when this person bought it back in 2005. 2005, they paid $269 for this. So they are definitely going up in value. I don't know if they bought it from like a regular gun dealer or if they found this at a like pawn shop. No idea. But the manufacturing date's '03, so sold in '05. I think it might have probably been sold once before. That guy bought it. Maybe that's why he got it cheap, because it was a used gun. But I don't know. So if you hold on for just 1 second, what else? Yeah, it's been an interesting couple weeks now. Getting kind of annoyed at the freaking can't go anywhere, can't do anything bullshit, as I'm sure we all are. Uh, Kind of figure if this keeps going on for too much longer, people are going to start freaking out, getting pissed. And it seems like all the politicians, or I should say, certain politicians and certain bureaucrats, definitely seem to be trying to take advantage to push their own um, agenda. Yeah, let's just leave it at that. Um, some states shut down gun shops. Fortunately, in New Hampshire, ours didn't. Smoker's cough, not corona. um, yeah, it's just people are gonna start freaking getting pissed. I mean, there's been cases where people have been out for a drive and they've gotten, $200 tickets for being out on the drive, which is bullshit. Um, you still have your constitutional rights, even in an emergency. As far as I know, they haven't declared martial law because if they go that far, I think a certain percentage of the population is going to have a field day going after politicians. I honestly do. I don't think it will be many, but honestly, they don't realize there's a hell of a lot more of us than there are them. And it's just going to turn into a endless cycle. They're going to freaking crack down harder, going to piss more people off, and it's just going to get worse and worse and snowball. So unless they lift the restrictions on people soon, I can definitely see in certain areas shit starting to happen that may not be good. It also doesn't help that the cops are enforcing bullshit executive orders, which are not laws. Um, they're just making shit up as they go, which is basically bullshit. You got some cops doing that. You got some cops that aren't enforcing any laws. I think I think they were saying like New York City, which is one of the hardest hit areas. They're down like 20 to 30% of their entire force. That's out with coronavirus. Well, why didn't they have proper PEE? You would think, a police force that's 60 something thousand strong would be, which has a significant budget, by the way, could afford for PPE for their officers, but apparently not. Um, like Governor Cuomo in New York demanding to have 40,000 ventilators. Well, there's no need for that many. You have this many cases. If you need more, you get more. Just because you demand something doesn't mean you deserve it. I'm curious to know if he actually did have the. If you look, there's a picture of him from a news conference, and I don't know if somebody photoshopped it or what, but there is a picture of him that shows pierced nipples. I thought that was funny. I don't know if it's real. I thought it was funny. Um, yeah, all these politicians, people are getting pissed. Simple as that. They're getting pissed at everyone. Not so much at Trump, surprisingly, but Congress, they're getting pissed. I don't think they're getting as pissed at Republicans because Republicans didn't bother taking their congressional vacations like the Democrats did. They actually tried getting a bill done and forego their vacations. That doesn't look good for Democrats when the Democrats still bothered taking their vacations. Oh, no, 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 there's no hurry. People are freaking suffering. People are out of work. People have no money. There's a lot of pissed off people right now. And unfortunately, I think it's only going to get worse. Um, just my just my thoughts on it. If anybody knows where to get, those grips I'm looking for the Ruger, put it in the comments. Because I've looked around a bunch of places and nobody seems to do what I want. I may end up having to buy like a cheap set of grips and just send them out to like lock grips and have a G10 set made, which would be kind of cool because How often do you see a single action revolver with like G10 grips? But those would probably be a little pricey. I'm sure everybody's been loading up all their mags. I've got everything in mine locked and loaded, and I normally don't keep shit like that. Well, mags to a degree I do. I can keep AK mags loaded for years. Magpul P mags, I usually don't keep those loaded up too much, just because up until recently I didn't have the little caps to prevent them from splitting them. And I don't even know how much of that is a problem. But yeah, it's been kind of crazy. Bought a couple gas masks, had to ship one back because it was defective. They said it was new, it was clearly used, it was dry rotted to hell. And surprisingly, it was from Sportsman's Guide. Um, they actually sent a gas mask filter with it that the gas mask filter had asbestos in it. They didn't even bother checking. That's opening yourself up for a lawsuit if somebody actually uses it. I mean, granted, I know they preface it if you read the description now, not when I bought mine though. It says it's for novelty purposes only, not for meant for life saving. Well, obviously, people are going to try them on, and they may use the filter. You just contaminated somebody with asbestos, dumbasses. A lot of shadiness going on right now with that whole thing. People buying and selling gas masks for outrageous prices. I've got one coming from Varstaleka in Finland, which is a French mask. I got to check back and see if they've actually got any filters for it. Last time I looked, they were sold out, but who knows? But it was only like $10 shipping from Finland to the US. I was like, shit, that's pretty damn good. But it should have been here already. But apparently, the Finnish government was claiming they need an export license for it. But it's military surplus, and Varstaleka got back to me when I emailed about it. Said, no, we don't need an export license for that. We'll resend it to you next week. So hopefully my package shows up this coming week. But that's all I got for now. Just kind of venting a little bit frustration wise because going a little stir crazy. I'm sure everybody is at this point. I want to get to the damn range and shoot this, but my indoor range is limiting the number of people at any given time on the range. They typically have 10 bays for membership people and 10 bays for non-members. And apparently they've been only letting 5 people on the range at any given time. So they're going 1, 3, 5. So it can only capacity wise handle half as many people. So it's like, I'm not even going to try and go down there for that bullshit. I'd like to find somewhere that's outdoors where I could go shooting up here, but got to find somebody that has land for that. Then buy them beers. Oh well, I'll talk to you guys later.